Welcome to this slowed down yoga practice. Today we're going to be exploring discomfort with some longer passive holds, so a more yin based practice, opening up and exploring all the areas of the body, and we're going to dive straight in. So the great thing about deep stretching is that you don't actually need to warm up beforehand. So to really make the most of our time together today, I thought it would be good to dive straight in. However, we always want to pause before every yoga practice and really land in presence. Now, I do have my boys with me today and they're playing their games and such things, so you may hear a little bit of background noise, and I would invite you to make that part of the experience, because whatever is present is exactly as it's meant to be. This is what we want to really lean into, that idea through this practice and in life. So come on down to the ground. Now, before we start, make sure you have a sofa edge handy. Make sure you have some blocks or books, cushions, because we want to be able to linger in these poses, and I'll talk about it as we get into the class. But just set yourself up for success, set yourself up for support. You can see I've got a few little things around that I'm going to be demonstrating with. Alright, let's slow it down. Coming to a comfortable seat. Now, if sitting on the floor is not comfortable, then elevate your seat until you can get your spine tall. So whether that means you're sitting on a couple of blocks and a cushion with some padding underneath your knees as well, make sure that your sits bones are pointing straight down, not tilting forward, and you're lifting up through the crown. Place your palms on your lap, face up. It's a little gesture of both offering and receptivity. So we get to think about, what do we want to offer up in our practice today? And in that offering and that releasing of tension and tightness, which we're going to be getting into, what do we want to receive? What are we allowing to flow towards us with the ridding of the old stagnant energy? Let's dive in. Beautiful. So the first pose we're going to linger in is a low lunge. So you'll start from all fours. I'll demonstrate from this direction first, and then I'll turn to the side. So you'll be a long ways on your mat, coming into an all fours position, and then stepping the right foot to the outside of the right hand, turning your toes out, anything up to 45 degrees. And if you notice that you're very, very crumped up here, then a few options for you. You will either grab some blocks and place them underneath your hands. Maybe you're at a sofa edge and you prop yourself up on the sofa edge. If you have a chair or a table handy, bring the floor up to you in any which way that creates a spaciousness and a supportedness whilst you're in this lunge position. If your hips are not quite as locked up as that, then you'll maybe start to back the back knee away. Now, from here, maybe your palms are on the floor. We want to find a position we can linger in. Drop the weight of the head if it feels comfortable on the neck. So we've got a little bonus stretch. Catching my glasses as they fall to the floor. So your pelvis is coming forward and down. And we're supporting our torso with the weight with our arms, okay? So you want to be switching off the leg muscles as much as possible. There's no alignment in this class. We're going for a stretch sensation. It's not a terribly comfortable stretch sensation, and that being said, if you feel any sort of nerve pain, any radiating pain, any compression at any point, then that's your sign to back off. However, if your sensation is in the belly of the muscle, then you are right where you need to be. So here we're stretching out our hip flexors, psoas muscle in the back leg. We're stretching out the hamstrings, a little bit of the external rotators. You might be feeling this in your glutes on the front leg. There's no shoulds, no shouldn'ts. If you've got the space, you can start to bring your forearms down to the ground. And while we're here, we're going to breathe so slowly and so intentionally. You're going to breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. That's counts, not seconds, okay? And you'll breathe out through the mouth with a slight sighing sound for a count of 8. In other words, your exhale is twice as long as your inhale. And we're using the breath to really get present and into the experience that we're having right now. We're using the breath to notice on the inhale, where am I gripping right now that I don't need to be? And with the exhale, allowing that release, no tension, no pushing, no forcing, just being with. And we've got another 30 seconds in this posture. Again, breathing slowly, using the breath to be here, to be with you, all of you, right here, right now. Beautiful. Celebrate yourself as you start to press into your hands, lift your torso up, back your hips up, and swing your front leg back away. Big toes touch, knees wide, sits bones back towards the heels as you reach the hands forward and sway a little side to side for a moment, just to loosen things off. And we'll come straight back into our all fours position. Step the left foot this time to the outside of the left hand, turning the toes out. In fact, coming and finding your posture, so walking the back knee back. Now, if you're feeling a little bit of pain in the back knee, then you can roll up your mat or place a cushion or a folded up blanket or towel underneath that back knee if there's any kind of pressure pain. Now notice left and right are going to be different. One side's going to be a little bit tighter, the other side's going to be a little bit more spacious. And we get to notice the mind with that, right? This is my good side. This is my bad side. And in this space, we get to drop all labels and just be fully present with what is. Fully compassionate, fully loving with ourselves. In celebration of the body, exactly where you are right now. Coming back to the breath and noticing when focus wanders. How are you with yourself? When I say come back to the breath, if the mind has wandered, are you giving yourself a hard time about that? Often again. Because this is the practice. The mind does wander and you do get to refocus it. And you get to come back here. And we get to do that softly, without judgment, without that hard time that we can give ourselves. And the more we can do that in this space, in this play arena of this mat time, the more you're going to be able to translate that into your life. last 30 seconds here. Allowing your pelvis to sink a little bit lower to the floor, wherever you are. Beautiful. All right. Press into those hands. Back your hips up from wherever you are. Swing your leg back. And again, let's press the sits bone back towards the heels. Sway us a little side to side. Reaching the arms forward. And coming back to an all fours position. Just give the nervous system a little bit of a reset here with some cat-cow. So your knees come under your hips, your wrists come under your shoulders, spine nice and long, shoulder blades gliding down the spine as you press all 10 toes into the mat. Hugging the ribs into the midline. Inhale, sink your belly to the floor, tailbone to the sky, chest forward, gaze forward, cow pose. Exhale, rounding through, press the floor away for cat. Again, inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Beautiful. Tuck your toes. Send your hips up and back into a downward facing dog, and then walk your hands all the way, your feet all the way up to your hands. Land in a forward fold at the top of the mat. Root your tailbone towards the earth, press into your feet, and roll yourself up to a standing position. So from here, we're going to do a standing forward fold, and we're going to hold it for 3 minutes. Now, if your hamstrings are on the shorter side, then please do have something in front of you, a chair, a table. And if you know your hamstrings are short, then I would invite you to do this from a wall. So you'll back yourself all the way up into a wall, with your heels flush to the wall. You will then step one of your feet distance away from the wall, and then the feet come parallel, around about hips distance, maybe a little bit wider. From here, if you're using the wall, you're going to pin your sits bones back into the wall. I'll start the timer here. So either from this position or from standing straight, you're going to drape your torso down towards the floor. So again, if your hamstrings are shorter, you're going to have your sits bones in at the wall. You're going to bend your knees as much as you need to make sure there's zero sensation in the lower back, and maybe you have your hands resting on the chair. Or we're away from the wall and we're again draping over. The legs are straight, but knees are soft, so not locked out. If you need a little bit more in this pose, you'll grab opposite elbows. It kind of tacks a bit more weight onto the torso. It increases the intensity along the backs of the legs. Come back to your breath, inhaling through the nose for a count of 4. Exhaling through the mouth for a count of 8. And we want to be as still as we can in this posture. And you may notice some trembling, some shaking going into the legs and the body the longer we hold this pose. If you can be with that, then be with that. You may also notice that you're starting to tip your weight forward into more the balls of your feet. See if you can ground down through the heels. And here you get to notice your mind as you're in the challenge. Now some of us, we're pushing, we're striving, we're giving ourselves that tough love, like pushing to the finish line, we're also kind of waiting it out, right? Like, when's it going to be here? When's it going to be here? Pushing, pushing, pushing. And some of it is we want to back off. We want to back out of the sensation, of the discomfort, and give ourselves a little bit more ease. So what you're going to do here is you're going to find your own edge. Can you bring a little bit more softness into your experience of challenge? Can you relax and just sit in it, be in it? Right now we're standing in it. And being fully in the sensations, we're coming out of the mind story, coming fully into the body, and again utilising the breath for that. Release your arms if you have them. Everybody bend your knees. And then everybody's going to walk themselves forward into a plank position. Side as well, side. All the way forward into plank. You can have your knees lifted or lowered. And again, we're just cultivating a little bit of strength to give the nervous system a break. So from your plank, take a deep breath in. Exhale, lift your hips up and back into a downward facing dog with the press check, the chest pressing towards the thighs. Inhale, come forward to plank. Again, it's going to be with the knees lowered. Exhale, sits bones will come towards heels and then lift up, downward facing dog. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Okay. Coming forward to plank and then lowering all the way down onto the belly. Flip onto the tops of your feet. We're going to do a pose called Sphinx pose. So you're going to prop yourself up on your elbows. Press your palms into the mat, grip the mat with your finger pads and pull your chest forward through the gateway of your arms. Now as you do this, I'm going to sit up on my knees to show you front ways. You want your forearms to be parallel, okay? So notice if the elbows are splaying out, it's quite typical in this pose, and make sure the elbows are in line with your shoulders. If you're feeling any funkiness in the lower back, what you're going to do is you're going to walk your elbows forward, keeping that 2 train tracks alignment of the forearms. You're going to walk the elbows forward, reburn the hands, and then again pull the chest forward. So we're getting into the middle back here, a little bit into the shoulders, but we want to be mindful of the lower back. Now notice if you're clenching in the glutes, coming into the breath. And wherever you are, we are pressing the elbows down into the mat to lift the chest. So there's a bit of activation here. About halfway through. More active posture. So here we want to be in these poses, turning off the muscles that we are targeting as much as possible. So even though we're pressing the elbows down, we're keeping the shoulders soft. We're softening around the heart space, around the chest. And again, opening to the discomfort. I am not comfortable in this position. This is a challenging one other side of the challenge. There is more freedom, there is more space, there is more peace. Well done. Come on down to your belly. Create a pillow for your head with your forearms, crocodile pose. And just shake the shoulders from side to side to side. Beautiful. Let's press our way back up to a seated position. And we'll get into the shoulders. So we've done hips, we've done hamstrings, we've done the chest. Just going to change the time for this one a little bit. And let's do shoulders. So you're going to need a belt, a strap, a scarf, something to elongate your arms. Possibly not for this. And I'm going to demonstrate this with my back to you. So you're going to put the strap in your right hand and you're going to wrap it around your wrist a couple of times just to take the grip strength out of this. Now, you're going to reach your right arm up, bend at the elbow, and your right palm will be facing your spine and in line with your spine. Left hand grabs the strap. You're going to close the gap as much as you can. Left hand is facing out the way. Once you have that tension in the strap, you're going to turn off the muscles of the arm and let the grip strength of the hands hold you in position. So let's do that together. And it really doesn't matter how you're sitting for this pose. You can be sitting on your sofa, on the edge of the sofa, in a chair, sitting cross-legged. Now, if when you get into this pose you find that your top arm, the elbow, is coming way down, you're going to walk over to your friend the wall and lean your elbow into the wall until you feel that good stretch sensation. So we use the support that we have around us. This is the last pose that we're going to be doing today. So really making the most of this time and noticing if there are areas that are preferred and areas that are more challenging. So for me today, because it's different every day, for me today, the upper body has definitely got more sensation, more challenge within it. I've been doing a lot of gardening the past few days, and I have a lot of tension here. And the beautiful thing about this practice is, again, we're not doing anything to get rid. We're not doing anything to push any part of the experience away. It's a softening, it's an opening, it's an embracing. Release your arms, and then we'll do a little wiggly, shake it out a bit. And we'll switch around. So strap will go in the left hand, we'll wrap it around a couple of times. Left arm up, palm faces your back, right arm behind you, close the gap to your own degree. And for some of you, you might be able to grip your fingers, in which case you don't need the strap. The important thing to remember is once you've got that tension, you relax the arm muscles, so there's no activation in the muscles to increase the distance between the elbows, but rather this is a passive stretching practice. Coming into the breath. necessarily? Where can I soften into my experience? Where can I surrender more? Where can I let go? And again, if the mind is wandering, if the mind is racing, just gently invite it back into the experience. There's nothing to distract from. No, it's not comfortable. It's not meant to be. It doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. So play with the idea that even in the discomfort, everything's perfect. Right here, right now. Release your arms. Again, shake the mind a little bit. And we'll spend a couple of minutes in a final relaxation, just allowing all of the spaciousness to really download into your body. So come on down to the ground. Hug your knees into your chest when you get there. And really give yourself a squeeze. Bring your nose up to your knees. Really squeeze everything in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze the muscles of your face. Squeeze your toes. And then release everything. Extend the legs out long. You can place a cushion under your knees, which is very nice for the lower back. Snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you, palms up by the sides, and really release. Allow yourself to melt into the mat, into the earth, and feel yourself being received as the earth rises up to meet you exactly where you are, as you are. Dropping all control of the breath now, allowing the body to breathe and be breathed. Allowing your awareness to land fully in you. Noticing the spaciousness and the lightness that you've created in your practice today. The longer you can linger in Shavasana, the better. However, if you are ready to come out and start to deepen your breath, start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and take any final stretches out to the side, up overhead, or side to side. They're going to feel most nourishing to you in this moment. Gather your knees into your chest and give yourself a final embrace. And enjoy, notice, feel into what it feels like right now to be held. Roll yourself off onto one side. And slowly, sweetly press yourself back up to a comfortable seat of your choosing. We will close the practice by bringing palms together, this symbolism of balance and gratitude. Bringing the thumbs towards the chest, lifting the heart towards the thumbs, and bowing your head towards your heart. Breathe in love and appreciation for yourself for showing up for yourself and investing this time in you today. And exhale that love and appreciation out into the world. And when you're ready, lift your chin, open your eyes. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy in this practice together today. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. There will be new videos every week. I mix up the flow, the more strengthening, challenging practices with the softer, slower, more releasing practices. So if you loved this, then please do leave me a comment down below and subscribe, like, do all the things, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Sending you so much love.